How did you start breathwork?
Good question. I started breathwork in 2017 when I was looking for ways to help my team members to dial down their stress and anxiety. And the first techniques that I was using were the HeartMath Institute's heart coherence breathing techniques. And that was really helpful for them. And I started to advance my training and knowledge from there.
Thank you.
Good. Cut.
What has changed in your life due to breathwork, Tim?
So breathwork for me has been a much longer journey than just becoming an instructor and using the HeartMath coherence breathing techniques, because when I discovered the Soma breath techniques in particular, it brought together all of the other healing modalities that I was working with. So it brought together the pranayama that I learned in yoga. It brought together a lot of the breathing techniques that I learned in the Peruvian Amazon when I was working with shamans there. So for me, it was this whole reconnection of all of the different things that I had been learning along the way, but they had been kind of hidden in plain sight. Because we talk about breathing, but we don't put a focus on it. And for me, when I pulled together all of these different modalities into what I now put under the umbrella of breathwork, it created a whole new avenue for career, for helping people, for bringing people together, and then creating community around that. So it was really just an integration of so many things.
Amazing, thank you. For how many years have you been practice breathwork, and who have you become because of it?
So practicing it, again, at a very simple level was since around about 2017, using the heart coherence techniques, but then expanding that out over the last, I'm going to say at least 12 months, and on a really regular basis. So I'm talking every day. What it's helped me to do is to get really in touch with trapped emotions that were stuck in my body that I've then been able to release without getting caught up in the story of what's happening. So it's helped me to release a lot of I'd say traumas, but they haven't been really deep emotional things that I've been connected to. It's helped me to improve my physical well-being, my physical fitness, and my resilience, particularly during what has been a very challenging time for a lot of people.
Amazing, thank you. How have you helped your client through breathwork?
My clients come to me because, I'm just thinking, why do my clients come to me? They come to me because they want a change in their life. They want a fundamental shift in how they feel. So people will sometimes come to me and say, I want to let go of an old pattern that I've been hanging on to. And because I work in coaching, people might come to me through the coaching pathway. And they'll say, let's do some breath work and let's really feel into where those emotions or feelings are. So I've used it to bring together mindset shifts as well as then the physical changes and the resilience changes that people can make. So for me, it's a bit more of I'm going to say an umbrella for helping people in different ways, whether that's through emotional healing, through mindset shifts, through getting in touch with a deeper part of themselves, and then helping them with their physical health and fitness, particularly for people who don't have very good breathing habits.
And what do you teach?
I teach Soma breath, so I'm a Soma breath master instructor. I also use breathwork for corporations where I teach them about stress and resilience and building up their CO2 resilience so that people can really dial down stress and anxiety, because we know that when we breathe slower and we keep a bit more CO2 in our systems, we open ourselves up. The other thing I combine it with is what I call diamond light healing, and this is a healing modality where we use the breath to clear our chakra systems. Or what we call our diamond lights. So I bring breath work to a deep healing modality, to music and group meditation, and I work it with different themes. So each week I bring together my community, I bring together a different theme, and it might be love, it might be release, it might be let's breathe through each of our different chakras, and it might be something to do with what's happening in the world around us. So I also look at what's happening in the astronomy, I look at what's happening in astrology, and I might just choose something that's very present for that moment, and that seems to bring everybody together into what's happening in their own surroundings as well.
Brilliant. And why do people come to you to do breath work?
It's a really good question. Why do people come to me? I like to think people come to me because I don't look like everybody else. When I look around the community, I look different to people because I work in a corporation still. So people don't find me as a yoga teacher, although I teach yoga and I'm a yoga teacher. I'm not in the yoga community, so I kind of sit somewhere in between. And people come to me because they can see that I've done a lot of study, I've traveled a lot, so I've traveled extensively, and I bring together a lot of different experiences. So I'm not focused on one particular area. And what I mean by that is I'm not just focused on doing yoga or doing breath work or doing something else. I bring together coaching, breath work, yoga, energy healing, and then all of my corporate experience is sitting somewhere behind that as well. So the results people say they get from coming to work with me is a real depth of experience and a depth of wisdom that comes from the lived experiences of all of those things, rather than just either the philosophical or just what you can learn through the classroom.
What do you teach?
I teach a couple of different things, Antonia. The first one being Soma breath, which is a combination of ancient pranayama yogic techniques that we mix with intermittent hypoxia. So this is where we do breath retentions and breath holds to build up carbon dioxide resilience, and that helps us to relax the body and become more oxygen efficient. So that's one of the things that I teach, and I do that on a regular basis through group classes and sometimes one-to-one or even smaller 1-to-2 type arrangements. The other thing I do with breathwork is I combine it with shamanic energy healing. So I have been trained in a number of different shamanism techniques, and I use the breath to help people clear different parts of the body, either the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual. So I help them really work to make a deeper connection to those areas. And then I also teach another healing modality which uses breathwork, which is really to do with the chakras and helping people to clear the emotional traumas or emotional challenges that they have, which combines numerology, it combines astronomy and astrology a little bit, and we bring it together to work out what people's specific challenges are. Use a breathwork to move through those challenges every time those emotions come up and allow them to turn them into their gifts. So, and finally, the last thing I teach is helping corporations through stress and resilience. So helping them to really understand what the causes of stress are in their work and maybe even their personal lives, and then helping them to use breathing techniques to dial that down in the moment so that they can become more focused and more productive.
Brilliant, thank you. What are the results clients get by working with you?
So it's a really great question. I'm glad you asked that one. Clients have come to me for a range of different reasons. And because I teach Soma breath and I teach energy healing and I teach resilience, the results are really diverse. So I've had people come and essentially for coaching at the very beginning, because I'm a leadership coach and a life coach, and then we bring in the breath work, and that's helped them to really clear old patterns. So things that people have been holding on to, things that they aren't even aware of sometimes, and the breath work helps them to get into that in a really safe way. So some of the results I've seen are people just letting go of really old stuff. And that's helped them to step forward, to create new pathways, and to really amplify their performance. Some of the other results I've had are clients who've come to me where they've had maybe a heart condition and they're really unsure about doing their yoga classes, or they've found that they haven't been able to go to yoga anymore because they can't breathe properly. So using rhythmic diaphragmatic breathing on a regular basis, I've seen these people step forward and be able to do yoga again, which has been really fantastic. And then other results people have is just generally coming together and feeling really good. So being able to release, again, all of the emotional traumas that they've been carrying around, being able to really shift themselves into a positive mindset and giving them the encouragement and the strength that they need to be able to say, right, I'm ready to take the next step.